Hello, my Super Sagittarius, and welcome to your weekly weekend energy reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest, or check out the other signs in your chart if they resonate with you more. However, if you do like this, please do like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. It's free, it's fun, and it gets it to the other Sagittarius. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get you started. We don't do reversals on this since it is just a weekend energy reading, weekend into next week rather. But we do use this deck and another tarot deck for your challenge card, as well as 3 oracle decks to kind of give you a full scope. So hopefully that will help, and I will go ahead and get started here. So the first cup is the 4 of Cups, okay? First cup is for first card. And I think what that's telling me is that you have somebody who is trying to get your attention. This could be somebody new, or this could be an ex coming back in. But whatever it is, somebody is like trying to get your attention. They may be trying to apologize to you. It could be somebody who's really peeved you off and they're trying to come back and, they're saying they're sorry, but you're not trying to hear it. So either you're just not over it yet, or that they're insincere, okay? If it's somebody from your past. If this is a new person, they may just be pursuing you and you're just not interested in them, okay? And they may be really like flies to you, like they're just annoying, okay? And you're just like, go away. Because it's like, I feel like with this, you're just like, if you look at the picture, the person's just like, no, I'm not having it. And this could be even more than one person, but for many of you, if an ex has popped back up or does pop back up very soon, I do feel like maybe they're trying to get back, and they may use apologies. They may be feeling sorry for something. They may be trying to use that. And I feel like for most of you, you feel like this is an insincere thing. This is something where they're just trying to get back in. They're just trying to say they're sorry, but they don't really mean it. So you're just really not trying to hear it. I think that's for a lot of you what's really happening. It's somebody that maybe you've split from, or you're on the outs from. And even if you do hear it eventually, I just feel like right now you're not ready to make nice. It's just not that time for you. So I just feel like that's where you are at this point. Your next card is the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like what's happening here is with that, because of this being the case, maybe this is something where you're on a break, or you split up, or your relationship is on the outs, or flat out, you may just not be interested in a relationship right now because people are trying to have one with you and you're not hearing it. You're really throwing yourself into work. So maybe you're just really putting yourself out there for work purposes. That's what you're trying to put your focus on, is whatever your work is. And it doesn't have to be like job particularly. It could be that you have, things that you're enjoying, that you want to work at. You might be in a creative mode. You might be trying to create things. You might be trying to do work around the home, DIY stuff, spring cleaning type stuff. You might be trying to just, whatever it is, you're working away at something, and it's not relationship driven. You're focused on it. And it could be something that is, making you money. So it could be very much be a work type project, or a side hustle type project you found and you're doing. Could be a charitable thing where you're helping make money for somebody else, but you're working very hard at it. But whatever it is, you've thrown yourself into something non-relationship related, I feel like, very much so, to try to avoid this whole other relationship issue where either somebody that you don't want's bothering you, or your ex is just like trying to put you on the spot to come back, and you're just like, you're not ready to make nice. So you're not into that right now. And your last card is the 6 of Pentacles. And so this is kind of letting me know again with this that you really are focused on certain projects. And it could be, that there's a balance here. You have the scales of over here, but you also have this as a charitable card. So I do feel like for a lot of you, this is the season for many people. The Lenten season, the Easter season. It is the season for a lot of charitable things that go on. It is the season, just spring in general, when a lot of, marathons and charity type things come out for different things, Habitat for Humanities, different things like that. I know that come around my area, but also for different religious type charitable things are happening for fundraising and different ideas like that. So I think maybe you are also kind of pouring yourself into these types of service projects perhaps. That could be part of it, or you're just trying to be more involved with those types of things or community type things. I think a lot of what this is that you're just trying to balance. You're having a balance of, finances, with the balancing scales here, a balance of finances, a balance of doing things with and for others, a balance of work, all of this. But you're trying to kind of keep it on an even keel with not overly focusing on relationship. Okay, that's my main take here, is that the relationship situation is something that you're just trying to back burner right this second, because again, either you don't want anything to do with the ex, either you don't trust the ex and you're not believing anything that they're saying with any apologies or trying to come back in, or you're just not ready to make nice yet. You're not over it. Whatever you've had the outs on, you may get to that point, but right now you're just not there. Or you're just out, the relationship, you've split maybe recently, maybe a long time ago, you're on your own, you're single, and you're not trying to hear anybody's. You want to go on and have some time to do other things right now, focus on completely other things, and you'll worry about relationships later. That's just not where you are in your life. So let's check your challenge card and see what that has to say. That may show a little bit more or shine a little bit of light on what's going on here for you in regards to these. So let's take a gander here, shall we? And see what we've got. So your challenge card is the 9 of Wands, and that means it's burden. So I do feel like you feel your burden down. And again, it may be that you're not trying to hear this relationship. I do feel like the relationship is burdensome to you. With this working away, I do feel like that is what you're doing to escape the relationship situation. And I do feel like that is where, the challenge is you're trying to get rid of your burdens by finding other avenues. Okay. I feel like that's what it is. I don't feel like the work specifically is the burden. Okay. I feel like you're almost using that as an escape. Now this could mean that that's more burden than good for you. It could be that, you're really not escaping anything by pouring yourself into that, because it's kind of, it's not really addressing the things that need to be addressed. But I do think for at least the temporary, this is telling me that, you have burdens. You have the burden of, the relationships that are bothering you right now, or, you're on the outs with, or what have you. And, pouring yourself into other things to distract yourself is kind of what you're doing. So, and that can be burdensome. That can be burdensome in itself too, because you can get kind of wrapped up in that too, and it'd be too much. Once you start shifting from one year to another, if you get too caught up in that, then that becomes a burden too. So I think, again, it's just be careful that you don't let trying to escape one burden become another burden for you. I do feel like that's part of the situation there. But we have the psychic deck here. So this is one we will use to kind of clarify on the 4 of Cups, kind of get some, hopefully a little bit more insight into what's going on there, and what maybe you need to do about it or with it, or how it kind of relates to you. And we'll go from there. So let's see what we've got going on here with this 4 of Cups energy, please. Alrighty. So sacrifice. Okay. So I feel like this is something where you are, you feel like you need to sacrifice. You have sacrificed with this relationship, right? So you don't feel like you need to sacrifice rather anymore. You've sacrificed. Okay. You've already sacrificed, and you feel like you need to, you just don't want to sacrifice any more time, effort, energy, mind space, any of that right now. Okay. Specifically with this. So you don't care to hear their bull in your mind. That's what it is right now. You don't care to hear their excuses. You don't care to hear their, what you feel is, insincerities. You don't care to hear anybody new. Okay. Because you feel like it's just going to be more of the same of what you've had in the past. You don't really want to deal with it right now, because you feel like all you've been doing is sacrificing for relationships. Okay. So I do feel like this is why you're looking for another outlet. Okay. And anything else that you do relationship wise, you feel like is going to continue to be a sacrifice. So what you're doing is you're kind of sacrificing, though, your relationship abilities, if you will, because you're kind of shutting that side off right this minute anyway, and you're focusing on other things. So that too is a sacrifice that can cause a burden, okay? So keep that in mind. But we are going to go ahead and pull, this is the moon deck, and we are going to pull this against your burden card and your 8 of Pentacles card, your burden card, your 9 of Wands. But it is basically like, you know, feeling like you're having a burden that you haven't been able to put down quite yet. So you're working with it. And it may be that your mind is constantly traveling back to the relationship and what to do about it. You know, even while you're trying to escape it with work, you're still unable to put that down. It's still there, forefront. But let's see what we've got here for you. So abundance. And I do feel like, again, you know, you're working away and it is helping with your finances, you know, maybe. If you're pouring yourself into work, of course, it's going to help your finances. But I do think, again, you need to be careful because that is falling under your sacrifice card, okay? So you don't want to sacrifice, you want to keep a balance, okay? You don't want to sacrifice your relationship entirely, that part of your life, or growing that part of your life, especially if you decide completely that you don't want to ever hear the ex again. If it's not just a situation where it's like, I'm not ready to make nice right now, but I might be. If it's something like, I'm not ready to make nice ever, and you're just not hearing anybody new right now, I wouldn't completely cut that off for very long, okay? Because that truly would be too much of a sacrifice. You know, you're holding the past relationship against anybody new coming in, and that's not going to help you, because then, you know, you're going to let this work become a burden. Where your relationship was a burden, now the work's becoming a burden. And while you may have plenty of financial abundance, you will then be burdened by your lack of relationship abundance. So I think the whole thing here is telling you that you need to have a good balance, okay? And again, that's further even rooted here in your card with the 6 of Pentacles that has a scale for, you know, balance. And it has charitable. So, you know, be charitable with yourself, be charitable with others. Do not hold the sins of your exes against anybody new coming in. Be charitable with the funds that you have if you are working, because karma is real and it will come to pay back to you anyway. So just be a balanced person if you can. Be as balanced as you can so that nothing gets a chance to be overly burdensome on you. That way you're not really sacrificing any aspect of your life, and you can be abundant in all, not just one, you know, a one trick pony, as it were, you know, one-sided. I'm really great with a relationship, or I'm really great with work, or I'm really great with whatever, but I'm not good at anything else. You know, you don't want that in your life. So I think to have abundance throughout, what they're saying in this card is, don't get overburdened on any one facet. You know, don't throw yourself so much into work that you completely neglect relationships. Don't throw yourself back into a relationship and not focus on work, that kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and pull one last advice card here on this 6 of Pentacles, and we will see how that will help you. Hopefully give you some last minute insight here to close this out. And otherwise, I do think that you will be kind of doing well, because I feel like overall what I'm getting out of this, my intuition, my reading here is that everything is saying that you really do need to just make sure that moving forward, you keep a good balance. Don't shut people out. Don't just focus solely on work. You can have abundance in all things as long as you are keeping a nice, even balance, and not sacrificing any one aspect of your life more than anything else. So let's see what we have here. All right. This one says, when peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. How can you see through the eyes of source energy and prioritize your inner peace? So again, this is what you need to do. You need to not sacrifice any one aspect. You need to find out your peace. What is your peace? And peace is usually balance, right? balance, harmony, peace. Those things are kind of, they're kind of really aligned. You can't really have balance and harmony and peace if you're just solely focused on one thing and the rest of your life has fallen to sham, okay? So I feel like this is what it's saying. Make peace with the fact that, if the ex is gone, it's gone, okay? But don't hold them against somebody new. Open yourself up to new relationships. If the ex is somebody that you are going to let back in, then you need to forgive them if that is what you're going to do, and move forward with that too, to get balance, okay? Because peace ultimately and balance are what is needed here, because then you can have no negativity. You can have, this is coming against your balance. This is coming against your being charitable. And again, that's nothing about that is negative. Not being charitable, not being balanced, those are all positive things, right? Those are ways to utilize the money that you make if you do throw yourself into work temporarily. Those are ways to balance yourself. So again, all ways to find peace and remove negativity that are going to give you abundance without over sacrificing anything. So again, I do think the main takeaway from this is stay balanced, okay? And if you want the ex back, you're going to have to forgive and move forward. If it's just one of those, I'm just not ready to make nice yet. If it's one of those where it's, I'm done anyway, I know they're a liar, I know everything they're saying is liar, I know if their lips are moving, they're lying, I'm not trying to hear a word they say ever again. I'm not trying to even hear anybody else because of how they were. Don't do that. Don't hold that against them, because you're just sacrificing your happiness based on somebody else's actions, and that's not going to bring you in abundance either. So again, that would be negative, okay? That's not for you. So have abundance by being balanced, okay? I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. Also, I will link your love reading below if you haven't had a chance to check it out. Otherwise, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you back. Bye.